Ms. Debnam.
Sorry, Alison Debnam.
Byron Forges.
Eitan Goldberg on behalf of Miltiades Borges.
Will the parties please raise their right hands? Do you acceptably and solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in the cause now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Yes, yes.
All right. So this case is scheduled for hearing today on the complaint for contempt filed by Mr. Vorges on June 29 of this year. Mr. Vorges brought that into the court on a motion for a short order of notice. I entered an order that the contempt summons would issue with a return date of July 2nd, service to be completed by June 30. Ms. Debnam and her counsel and Mr. Vorges appeared on July 2nd, and it was represented, Ms. Debnam, by your attorney that that summons had not been served. I do have a return of service that the constable attempted to leave twice in hand and then left at the last and usual address of 389 Linebrook Road, Ipswich, Massachusetts, on June 30 at 5 p.m. So I'm somewhat confused as to why there was a representation in court that it had not been served.
I've never lived at that address. I've never worked at that address. I don't know where they have that address. I was notified yesterday from my attorney to come in today.
Mr. Vorges, where did the 389 Linebrook Road address come from?
That's the only address we've ever had. We've had no other address to, that's the only address we've ever had.
I have a notice of appearance and objection, Ms. Debnam, that you filed with the court on September 4, 2014, where you list 389 Linebrook Road, Ipswich, Massachusetts, as your address.
That's not my address. On what paperwork? Can I see that?
Signed by you.
Who put this in? Did another attorney put this in, or did I put this in?
Is that your signature, ma'am?
That is my signature on the bottom.
And
but
I'm
I
thinking
probably
you
just
put it
signed.
in.
No, I've never been there. I've never worked there. I've never lived there.
Well, you filed a document with this court, ma'am, and listed that as your address. It is more than appropriate for Mr. Vorges to serve you at that address, and I do not take it lightly when things are misrepresented to the court. So if you never worked at that address and you never lived at that address, you certainly should not have filed a notice of an objection listing that as your address in the court. And I do not appreciate being informed in open court that a summons was not served when it was. The mistake in the address is yours and yours alone and your responsibility. So we have the complaint for contempt that was filed by Mr. Vorges, which states that pursuant to the settlement and release agreement, which was incorporated into a decree on an order for a petition to remove a trustee, you are in contempt of that decree by failing and refusing to sign over stock. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Where's the complaint for contempt?